How did I do? Did my no buy week go as planned? Yes and no. For the most part, it was a success because I prepped really well beforehand. There was only one essential thing I had to buy, and that was food for my dog Sven. But besides that, I did hit some unexpected challenges along the way. Hi, I'm Dana from Dana Finewell, and I'm here to help you find wellness after 50. Today, I'll share what worked, what didn't, and whether this challenge is really worth it for those of us in this stage of life. If you're over 50, many of us already have what we need. So cutting out impulse spending helps create a more simple, intentional lifestyle. No-buy challenges also help us create a new, healthy habit of not overspending. This ensures financial security in later years. To me, this is a helpful step in preparing for retirement. If you grew up in a spend to reward yourself mindset, this challenge helps rewire that thinking. Breaking that old habit might not be easy, but it's totally doable. And instead of shopping, time and money can be redirected towards travel, hobbies, or spending time with family and friends. Okay, so what were some key things I learned after my first no-buy week? Not having to think about what to eat each day made the no-buy week so much easier. I could just grab something and move on with the day. Simplifying our daily decisions, especially around food, can free up a lot of mental space. I didn't have to ask myself, what should I make for lunch or dinner? Or, do I need to run to the store? That change made a big difference in how present and focused I felt during the week. This was a huge realization for me. I didn't realize how much of my spending was just habit, not necessity. Over the years, I've built routines around shopping, whether it's running errands, thrifting inventory for my business, or even just browsing. I noticed that certain times of the day, or even certain moods, would trigger the urge to shop. I'd catch myself thinking, I wonder what I'm missing at the thrift stores or at the bins. Or, I don't need anything, but let me browse online for just a minute. This made me realize how much I used shopping as entertainment. Also, thinking it's such a good deal, I might as well grab it, was a common way for me to justify my spending habits. Even though I didn't actually need anything, my brain was so used to that little dopamine hit from shopping. And since I'm 60 years old, I've spent decades reinforcing these habits. So breaking these habits did take some effort. Do you know what helped? Reminding myself that just because something is a great deal doesn't mean it's great for me to have. Even small, inexpensive purchases add up over time, and I want to be more intentional with how I spend my money. All right, so this is a spreadsheet that I'm calling my no-buy diary. And I just started listing things that I wanted to purchase, but I decided not to. For example, I have here Baja Gold Mineral Salt. And I believe I was watching a video. The YouTuber had mentioned this item, and so I impulsively wanted to purchase it. But instead, I went ahead and just added it to my no-buy diary. I have items that are $20, $300, $99, and I just went ahead and listed them, put down the date that I was thinking about purchasing it, and who knows, maybe in the future I'll decide, yeah, this is a good buy for me. But for now, I'm just tallying up all these different items. For example, during the no buy week, I was very tempted to buy a new baby carrier for my granddaughter, Malia. And I decided, no, I'm going to wait on this. You know, it is $109. And another thing that I was very tempted to purchase was this elevated dog bowl for my dog Sven. And again, I decided to hold off on it. I had another elevated dog bowl that I decided to try with him. He didn't like it. So for me, I think I'm probably going to hold off on these types of dog bowls. But what's been really interesting and eye-opening is when I tally everything up, I get a total to date of $625, and that's just within 1 month's time. So I'm using this as a motivational tool to keep me going because at the end of the year, who knows how much I've actually saved? And I think that could be really enlightening. Also, I don't want to bring back clutter into my home. I've worked really hard to declutter and simplify my home. I definitely want to keep it that way. Since I prepped food and stocked up on my inventory for my online stores ahead of time, I was able to be fully present with my granddaughter, Malia, while I babysat her 3.5 days that week. That was so rewarding, much more than I ever expected. Okay, so I was really worried how babysitting would interfere with all of the things that I've got going on in my life right now. What would happen to my online stores, my YouTube channel, my hobbies, and my health and fitness goals? One thing I realized is that I'm constantly thinking ahead, planning, preparing, worrying about what's next. But the biggest benefit of my no-buy week was that I was able to slow down and be in the moment. And that brought me more joy than I ever expected. I kept thinking to myself, I feel so good just being with my little buddy. It felt like I didn't have a worry in the world. So I'm going to gobble this down and Malia's going to watch me eat, right, Malia? I felt so calm, but still full of energy. It was so nice having all my planning already done. Kind of like when you go on vacation and there's that mad scramble before you go to get everything taken care of, and then you're able to really enjoy your vacation. It was a lot like that. I wonder if retirement will feel like one big vacation. I really hope so. But the most important thing I realized is that all my years of hard work, planning, and overcoming hardships have led to these precious moments with Malia. This is what makes it all worth it. It might not seem directly related to a no-buy challenge, but for me, it absolutely was. Preparing ahead of time freed my mind from worry and allowed me to be fully present with my little buddy without distractions about money or what needed to get done. And that's priceless. If you've been spending a certain way for decades, breaking those habits takes more effort. Also, it's tempting to spend on our kids, grandkids, or our fur babies, especially when unexpected needs pop up. And shopping trips or dining out with friends and family can be a big part of social life. making a no-buy challenge even trickier to stick to. All right, so let's talk about the specific challenges I faced. I noticed that I kept having little urges to go out and thrift. I kept thinking like, oh, it's for my business, or maybe I can find something cute for Malia. But I had to remind myself, even if something is a great deal, if I don't need it, it's still money spent. Also, if I keep bringing new things in, I have to find space for it. It's not just about the money. It's about breaking a habit. I thought it would be fun to experiment with some new meals while meal prepping. Big mistake. I burnt the chickpeas. I ruined most of the tofu, and I overcooked the sweet potatoes. Lesson learned: during a no-buy challenge, stick to tried and true recipes. New recipes come with a risk of failure, and when you're not buying extra groceries, messing up a meal is a bigger deal. So the rainbow noodle salad dish came out really good. The noodles were a little overcooked, but the peanut sauce and everything else was really delicious. I even made it again, and it turned out even better. The winter kale salad really gave me problems. That's where I burnt most of the proteins. But I paired it with a cilantro dressing, which was so yummy. I would definitely make that dressing again. And I might simplify the salad by using a bit less of the components, and then I could actually try it again. I think I actually got pretty lucky with both of the new dishes, but for the next no-buy week, I'll stay away from brand new recipes. Waking up at 4 a.m. to work on my online stores or YouTube before babysitting Malia all day meant I completely neglected my personal well-being. No gym, no dance class, no drumming. Our energy and well-being are just as valuable as our finances. I realized that while this challenge was good for my budget, I needed to find a way to balance self-care, fitness, and rest. If I'm saving money but feeling exhausted, stressed, and missing out on the things that bring me joy, then is it really worth it? Moving forward, I want to approach this challenge differently, without sacrificing my health. No-buy challenges aren't just about saving money. They reveal our spending habits, priorities, and where we need more balance. I realized how much of my shopping was just out of habit. I saw firsthand how prepping ahead of time gave me so much more mental clarity and presence. It's a great way to reset habits, but we also have to be mindful not to sacrifice health and well-being in the process. I saved money, but I also burned myself out by not prioritizing sleep, exercise, and hobbies. Moving forward, I need to find a balance between financial wellness and overall wellness. Would I do this again? Yes, but with some tweaks. Next time, I'll stick to batch cooking tried and true recipes instead of experimenting. Also, I won't wake up at 4 a.m. every day. I need a better balance between productivity and self-care. I'll make sure to go to the gym and do my hobbies at least twice a week to keep my well-being in check. And I'll compare this challenge to a week where I don't meal prep or batch cook at all. Instead, I'll just plan out what I'll be cooking and shop for the ingredients ahead of time. This should free up my weekend quite a bit. So, is the no-buy challenge worth it? Absolutely, but with some adjustments. It's a great way to reset spending habits and become more intentional, but it's just as important to make sure it fits into a balanced lifestyle. If you joined me in this challenge, how did it go? Would you do it next month again? Let me know in the comments. If you'd like to try your own no-buy challenge week, check out my playlist on how to get ready for it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you find wellness today and every day. See you next time.